Hi friends, this is Atul with Sai. Today I will show you how we can use that refresh tokens in our ASP.NET Core Web API 9.0. I am opening first SQL Server, so we'll show you that table structure first. Select star from TBL refresh token. So you can see we already created this table, and this table has columns names like so you can see the table name is TBL refresh token. Column ID is a unique identifier. We are storing that GUID for this. We have user ID. We use data type as a big int. We have token hash. The token hash is nvarchar with 512 length. We use expire at, is revoke, created at, and revoke at. We can store each and every information that token generated by the user ID and password first time. So here that ID is GUID, user ID, so token hash here. So we use this token hash. So I will show you that how we can store this at client side. Okay, client side in the sense we are storing this token hash in that Google Chrome browser, Internet Explorer, Internet Edge, and the mobile phones like Android and iOS phone. So we can store this token hash. Okay, so we'll show you that. Let me open that my ASP.NET Core Web API. I will show you which framework we use for this demo. You can see target framework, we use .NET 9.0. So in this solution we don't have any startup.cs class file, so we directly have program.cs file. So we configure all these things in this program.cs file only, like connection string, swagger configuration, connection string configuration, JWT bearer token configuration. We are reading that valid issuer audience from our app settings.json file, and we have encrypted our connection string here. We are use the serial log for this. We are storing that logs in that database level as well as server level in that .txt file. Okay, so we have JWT key, issuers, audience, subject. We have that API keys, and we have many profiler required, so we can check how much time our API took to execute that, complete the process. We'll discuss these things later. So we use that repository pattern. So we have created interface, we have repository class, we have DB context class, we have models, and that models we use in this DB context class. So we are mentioning all that columns, primary key, foreign key columns. We are creating the properties, table level properties. Now I am opening that token, refresh token controller. Let me open controller first. Here is our controller folder. Under controller folder we have token refresh. So here you can see we have refresh methods, and we have generate token method. So I will explain you this line by line. Okay, before that I will show you the demo, then we will go through that line by line code. Okay, now I am running this my ASP.NET Web Core API in my local system. So for this demo we are using Swagger. Okay, so in that Swagger we already configure, like we need to add that, we need to authorize that methods. For that we have added out we have configured all that settings in that Swagger. So you can see here our society 777 API. We have this error log, FCM token, Firebase, flat, guest, incident, my society, chatbot, parking, payment, society user, and token. So we have these all methods. So for these methods except token, so for this above method like society user pay, so we need to authorize each and every API. So that's reason we need to generate the token. So first thing, I am going to generate one token. Okay, so here is client type is web. So if user wants to this for mobile, so just client simply enter here this mobile. Okay, here we need to pass. So this is only user only entering the first time username and password, and later on if that token is expired, then our refresh method, so developer needs to implement that logic, like once that main token is expired, so after that that refresh tokens API automatically calling. So that's logic implemented, or for that developer is responsible for that. Okay, so for token expiry is like 15 to 20 minutes. For refresh token there is like 7 days, that token lives 7 days in the server. Patrikar Atul 7 @ flag we are passing log. Okay, so our token generated successfully, and the token expiry you can see here 20260501 and 1457, like 257. Now here I am inspecting this, going to the application tab. Under the application tab there is, under storage we have cookies section. Under that cookies section you can see we have that value hash. So actually we have this actual token hash value, this token hash value. Okay, so now I am going to copy this, I am copying this refresh token. Now we have refresh methods. For this we require that value hash from our cookies, and we need to pass the user ID. Okay, so now we are regenerating the token based on that refresh token API. Here you can see we have successfully generated new token based on our refresh token and our this token hash value. Okay, now I am going to authorize this all methods by using our refresh token. Click on authorize. Now I am going to show you something here. For example, get all guest list. Okay, right now okay, login ID is 1 and flag is report. Here you can see we are able to fetch that guest list. Okay, so this is the guest list. So actually I am that super admin for this application, so that's reason we can see this whole guest list. Okay, so there is, we have added some conditional base guest list. So now I am one more time show you from that code level how our code is working. Okay, Now I'm again going to that token controller. Okay, so we already have opened that token controller. Okay, so you can see we got client, it's web, client type is web, and user info. Okay, so user info, we have that user ID, password, and flag. Okay, so here we are checking that user is available or not in our database system, in our database, and then we are passing these three parameters: email, user, password, and flag. So here you can see we use that encryption. So because we are storing that password, encrypted password in our database, so runtime we are encrypted this password, and we are passing that password to our @upass parameter. And here you can see we have created this user SP in our SQL MSSQL database, and we are passing these three parameters. So now we are returning user. Okay, so here you can see we got these details from that store procedure that created by flat type, guest visitor, and that image path, then password, mobile number, and that privileges list. These details we got. Now here we are claiming this. We are claiming like we are passing that. Here you can see in these claims we are passing the user ID and user email. Okay, so based on that key, JWT key, I already shown you. I will show you one more time here. Okay, so this key we are using to claiming that details, user ID and email ID. Okay, and we use that security algorithms is HMAC SHA-256. So here you can see we already configure issuer, audience, claims, expires, and sign-in credential is created. Okay, so these claims we are passing user ID and password. Now here you can see we have wrote that JWT token in this section. Okay, dot write token, JWT token. So if you click on view button, so you can see we have header, we have algorithm, we use algorithm is HS256, type token type is JWT, payload we are passing that subject from that app.config, we are passing JTI, this JTI we are passing runtime, then we are passing user ID, user email, and that expiry, issuer, and audience. And below you can see this is our signature. So this signature is validating that token is expire or not, token is valid or not. So if that token is not valid, then it will respond like invalid token or something like that. We are getting the error. The next step is here we are generating the random bytes. You can see a random number generator get byte 64. So we have generated this random token, random value hash, token hash. Okay, random token hash. Here then we are converting into that base 64 with hash data. So after that you can see that original value is this, like start with MORNSVK something or at the end equal to. So after converting to the base 64 string, this value look like this, like GQK, so that user cannot identify this value. Now here we are storing this token hash value, then this new given ID, user ID, token hash expire at is revoked and created at. So we are storing this value at database level. So you can see here we have this value. So now I'm going to the database and I'm executing one more time. Okay, so you can see we have added this value here. Oh sorry, order by 1 DESC. Okay, order by 1 DESC. Okay, so here you can see we have created so now we have generated this token. So like we already store this token at client side under that cookies section. Okay, application cookies section. So now I'm copying these cookies from here. Now I'm going to paste that value here. User ID is 1, and now I am going to click on the execute button. I think I forget to put breakpoint here for post. Breakpoint is there for post. Oh, okay. I'm going to execute this one more time. So here you can see. Okay, one more thing. For this token generation, we are calling the get user method to validate that user is available or not in our database. Okay, for refresh token we don't have any get user method in this. Okay, so based on that existing token we are directly generating the new token. So for this refresh token we don't require user ID or password, we just require only the token hash that we already store in that client side, in that browser. Okay, in that request DTO we got refresh token and user ID. The first thing is we are decoding that token, because in database we are storing token hash like this. Okay, now we are decoding, and after that we are converting to the base 64. So we got this, that actual value that we already stored in database. So here we are checking. Okay, we are checking that user ID, request user ID and that token user ID is match, we are matching. The token hash and refresh token hash we are matching. Then not is revoked, so that token should not be the revoke. Okay, and okay, so and here we are checking that expire date is greater than date time UTC now. If this all condition is satisfying, then we are going to the next step here. Otherwise it will give this error, invalid or expire refresh token. So that I will show you. Okay, so you can see here we are getting that null token. Okay, we are getting the null token. That's reason we are getting here, we are getting this invalid or expire refresh token. Now I'm executing one more time. Oh, okay, I think this is already expired. Okay, I'm rerunning this job. I'm rerunning this our ASP.NET Web Core API. I'm refreshing this. Okay, I'm regenerating the token first. Flag its log. Token generated successfully. Now I'm copying cookies value. Okay. Now I'm going to refresh token, try it out. User ID is 117 and token string is this, and execute. Okay, so here you can see we are decoding the token. Here we are checking, so you can see we got that details from token hash. Okay, so user ID is 117, we got these all details. So here you can see we are updating this token. Is revoked true? Because we already used this token, correct? So based on that we are getting this user details from our .tbl user table. So we are passing the user ID equal to request.user ID that we got from that refresh token. Okay, and then we are checking, and then we are fetching select user ID, email ID, name. So u.pass is not required here actually. So in future release I'm going to remove this u.upass because u.upass is not required here. Okay, so now again one more time we are adding this user ID and email in that our JWT token claims. We are setting up that subject, we are setting up that issuer, audience, and that expiry. Okay, so here we have generated this new token based on refresh token. Now again one more time we are storing this refresh token in table and also storing in that refresh token cookies in our client side. Okay, see, we have generated this token and we stored new token here in this under that application tab cookies. So we need user ID and token hash value from that client. So in the next time if client is trying to log in our system or due to inactivity that main token is expired, then we don't force user to enter user ID and password one more time. Instead of we read this token hash value from that client browser, and based on that we can generate the new token. So that's it from my end for today. So if you have any question or if you require some more information, so you can comment on the below section. And thank you for watching this video.